Hi guys, welcome back. This is part 12 of the troll video, and in this video we are attaching his ears. I'm going to show you how to sew those on, and then at the end of the video I'm going to show you how to shape them if you want to. You can leave them plain or shape them. All my trolls have a different look to their ears, so it's totally up to you what you do with it, and you can play around with this technique that I show you at the end. So you're going to need some pins, and I'm also using my blunt end yarn needle. Alright, let's get started. Ready to start sewing on his ears, and you can see he does have a little bit of a bend here, a little bit of a curve, and that's just in the way I sewed it. We just need to pin it in place first. So I like starting at the bottom, like putting my first stitch in the bottom and then working my way up. So when we pin it on, the bottom should be just above those cheeks. So let's get that first pin in there. And I'm using long pins. Short pins will work as well. And I'm going to put one in the middle. Okay, and you can see the top of his ear is going to be way too high there, so I'm just going to bend it over. And then pin it to hold that shape. Okay, and you want to make sure that you are happy with placement before you start sewing, because like I've said, removing yarn stitches can be a real pain, because once they're in there, they're pretty stuck in there. Okay, I'm just going to bring my yarn needle right down into the head and as close as I can to the edge of the ear, and then I'm going to come up just in front of the ear. Pull the yarn tail through, and then when I go back in, just grab the edge of that ear and down into the head. You can come out anywhere where you feel comfortable. Just come through a stitch hole. Anywhere you feel comfortable. If it needs to be back here, don't worry about it. As long as you go back through that stitch hole, you'll be fine. So if you came out here, then you just go back in and then come up in front of the ear, just like that. But I'm already there, so let's go back into the ear and right through to the other side. Okay, and now back down and then up again. Then I'm going to go through the bottom edge of the ear and out through the other side. Just stop every once in a while, make sure everything's still sitting where you want it before you continue on. Now go back down, and I'm going to come up behind the ear again. And down, and then up again. See this guy here? His curve's a little bit lower. It's totally up to you how you do it. They're all a little bit different. My trolls are all a little bit different, so they all have a little bit of a different look to them, and I like that. So okay, so if you had to come back here, say, you need to bring it out here because it's too uncomfortable to get up here. Once you're back here, now you can go back in the same stitch hole and then come up where it feels comfortable. I think I'm ready for the final stitches. I'm done. Just check it out, make sure there's no gaps anywhere, and if there is, oops, I see one right there. So I'm going to bring my yarn needle down there, and I'm going to close up that last little gap there. I'll just go right through, and now I think I'm done. Now that it's been sewn in, I can knot off anywhere. Pull on it slightly and cut. And if you notice, anywhere you went in is kind of dipped down in the back from pulling on stitches, just reach in there and pull it back out again. So you can see the difference in ears there. I actually love these ones, and I did that by further shaping the ear. So after my ear was all sewn in, I took my yarn tail and I brought it up through the ear. So just bring it right through the head and then bring it up through the ear. Okay, and if you don't have a yarn tail long enough, then just cut a strand of yarn and bring it through your ear. Okay, so we're going to bring it up where? How am I going to shape this one? Maybe I'll bring it up to the tip. You can bring it anywhere you want. It all depends on what you want to do with yours. You can totally just leave it flat open too, up to you. So if I wanted to bring that down and hold that shape, I can do that by bringing my yarn tail. See it up here coming through a stitch hole? I'm going to go over just one stitch post so the yarn has something to grab onto, and then I'll go down through and then down into the ear and out through the other side. And I could totally bring that down, but that tip is not looking right to me, so I'm going to bring that back out again. No worries. Bring it back through the same stitch hole you just came through and back out. So I think I need to go over down a little further. I'm too far into the tip. Okay, I'm going to try down here. I'm going to go over one stitch post. So I'm going to wrap over that stitch post there and through the ear and then down into, let's say, right about there. Now I'll pull it. Oh yeah, that's better. So see how that just gives it a totally different look. So I can knot this off to hold it. Okay, and if I wanted to further shape the ear, we can do that too. Let's bring it over here. And we can just play around with it. So I'm going to wrap over a stitch post so the yarn has something to grab onto. Let's just see what we get here. So I'll just go right about there, I guess. Let's see what we get when we do that. Look at that. That's a totally different look right there. None of my trolls have that look. I think I'll keep that. So I'm going to knot this off, and now I'll just bring this through anywhere. So there you go, you have choices, and the choice is totally up to you what you want to do with those ears. You just play around with it and have some fun and see what you can come up with. Alright guys, that brings us to the end of this video. Now you can leave your troll bald if you'd like to, but if you'd like to add some hair, I'll show you that in the next video. There will also shape the top of his forehead as well. So I'll meet you over there.